Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are you all doing this morning? This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are all doing well. My apologies there for the slight delay, and let me just quickly reference what just happened for anyone's wondering. So I started the live stream, and my camera was not working on OBS. So I had to immediately cancel the live stream that I started literally, and scramble to get a new one, get the new live stream set up with thumbnails, the text, and all that kind of stuff within the 5-minute countdown that I set out for you guys. Then I had to delete it. Then delete the post on Discord and Twitter because obviously it's the wrong link as well. So yeah, I was doing all this within the 5-minute countdown, which is why we're 1 or 2 minutes over, which is a very annoying. But welcome to Good Morning Regan Lee. We're going to look at the local weather here in London. We'll look at the daily quote. We'll talk a little bit. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the about one of the seaside towns that I've been to, because there's quite a lot of different stories I want to cover today as well there. But we are dual streaming live on youtube.com/ReganElite and on twitch.tv/ReganElite1. If you're on Twitch, please consider following and hitting the bell notification icon on there so you'll be notified when I go live on Twitch. And if you're here on YouTube, if you can, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It will be greatly appreciated. Good morning, Stephen Banker. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Alison Keir. Good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. All hail the Democratic Penguins Republic. Thank you so much for the £2 super chat, my friend. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Alex Adams, good morning to you too. Hope you are doing well. And anybody else who are lurking in the chats. Yeah, it's just like I hate when I start the live stream and then something is wrong, because then I have to scramble. Because it used to be 10 minutes countdown, but now it's a 5-minute countdown. Because 10 minutes was a long period for people to sit and wait. So that's why I changed it to 5 minutes, because 5 minutes is a lot quicker. It's a lot better for people. But it also means that if something goes wrong, I only have 5 minutes to sort it out as well. So it puts the clock against me. Right, let's go straight to the weather, guys, because that's quite an interesting one here. So at the moment here in London, the forecast is 21 degrees. But it is reportedly going to be cloudy pretty much all day. Clouds all day. So no beaming sunshine dropping down on us here. However, temperatures will rise as high as 28 degrees. So it's not expected to hit 30 as it did yesterday, but it is going to be still warm nonetheless. Again, a reminder, please make sure you drink plenty of fluids, stay hydrated. I cannot stress this enough. I'm going to keep mentioning this to you guys because it's really important. Oh dear, what a start. First the live stream issues, and now hay fever and the sneezing. Good God Almighty, what's happening this morning, guys? It's all happening this morning, that's for sure. Right, just put some hand sanitizer on. Okay, so that's pretty much the weather locally here for today. Tomorrow on Saturday, it's expected to be as high as 32 degrees. Tomorrow on Saturday here in London. So wherever you are around the UK, it's expected to be it should be in theory a lot warmer where you are than tomorrow as well. So do be aware of that. It does say Sunday it'll drop as low as 24 degrees according to the app as well, and then as low as 20 degrees on Monday. So it's going to drop as low as 20 degrees on Monday. Obviously, we'll see on Monday that we're there, but very interesting indeed there. So yes, tomorrow it's going to be very warm. Today it's still going to be warm, even though it's cloudy here. Obviously, it might not be cloudy where you are, but still try and stay hydrated, guys. So that is today's daily quote today. Good evening, Steve McMahon. Good to see you there, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Thanks for popping in on last night's live stream, and anybody else who was here to join us last night as well. Much appreciated, my friend. Hope you're having a good Friday where you are. So let's go to the daily calendar quote. I'm conscious of time there. There it is, the daily calendar quote here from Linya Grifty Akita, if I said that right. And the quotation is, if you listen to music every day, you will strengthen your soul. If you listen to music every day, you will strengthen your soul. I love that. I should listen to at least one song every day, at least. I should do that at least. I should do that at least, guys. I think that's really, really important, you know. Music can really play with your emotions, all sorts, don't they? Tomorrow's one is by Agro Brosk. It's a very nice one here, and it goes as... Well, unfortunately, I can't share it with you because it's not Saturday, guys. I'm sorry. You're going to have to... if you want to see tomorrow's quotation, guys, obviously I don't have a good morning show planned, but you can follow me on my social medias, on Blue Sky, on Twitter, on Discord, and you will see tomorrow's daily quotations will pop up all around them there. Steve McMahon, thank you so much for the $5 New Zealand dollars, much appreciated. Alston, you do not need to apologise for being there, mate. We all have lives, we all got jobs, we all got things to do. Just because you can't make it doesn't mean you need to apologise at all. It's totally good, you know. If you can make it, great. If you can't make it, don't worry about it. Honestly, mate, it's fine. Honestly, you don't need to apologise. Thank you, Steve McMahon, for the $5 New Zealand dollars. I really, really appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. Listen to music every day, prefer it to the TV screen, Steam Banker. Have I ever done that? I think I've done that before in the past. I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have, maybe. Right, not going to spend too much time on this one here, but I want to just talk a little bit about this place. It's a place I've only been to once. I don't think I'll ever intend to go back there because there's not really a lot there. And that is Southampton, guys. Southampton, the city and utility authority area. I mean, it does have some cool things. I mean, there's one or two museums. The town walls are pretty nice. It's nice to walk around. I enjoyed me and my partner walking around walking along the skyline as well. And there was a little couple of things to do. It's definitely something that you could do in a day. You could do a day trip to Southampton, and there would be enough things for you to do. But apart from that, it's not really worth going. Apart from that, it's not really a lot there to offer, if I'm honest. So Southampton is a port city and utility authority in Hampshire, England, and it's located approximately 80 miles. That's southwest of London, 20 miles west of Portsmouth, and 20 miles southeast of Salisbury. Southampton has a population of 253,000 at the 2011 consensus, making it one of the most populous cities in southern England. Southampton forms part of larger South Hampshire contribution, if I can even say that word, which includes the city of Portsmouth and the borough of Havet, Eastleigh, Ferrum, and Gosport. A major port and close to the New Forest, Southampton lies in the northernmost point of Southampton Water, at the confluence of the River Test and Itchling. With the River Hamble joining the south, Southampton is classified as a medium port city. I would agree with that. Southampton was the departure point for the RMS Titanic and home to 500 people who perished on board. The Spitfire was built in the city as well. Yes, yes, that is where the Titanic departed famously here at Southampton Port. So obviously there's a bit of history there, obviously, of course. And the Spitfire was built in the city, and Southampton has a strong association with the Mayflower, being the departed point before the vessel was forced to return to Plymouth. In the past century, the city is one of Europe's main ports for ocean liners. Yes, it is. More recently, Southampton is known as the home port of some of the largest cruise ships in the world. The Cartel Line maintains regular transatlantic service to New York from the city, and Southampton is also one of the largest retail destinations in the south of England. Southampton was heavily bombed during World War II, during what was known as the Southampton Blitz. It was one of the major embarkment points for D-Day, and in the Middle Ages, Southampton is where the troops left England for the Battle of Agincourt. It was itself raided by the French pirates, leading to the construction of fortified town walls, many of which still stand today, which you can actually still go down there and see them, yeah, which I've seen as well. Jane Austen, who lives in Southampton for a number of years, in 1964, the town of Southampton acquired city status, becoming the City of Southampton. Some notable employees of the city, including the University of Southampton, Ordnance Survey, BBC South, Associated British Ports, and Carnival UK there. It does have, as it says there, there is it is a big city. I personally, when I went there, I didn't find a lot to do. A lot to do. So there was a lot of times me and my partner would just we're doing a lot of walking. Let me just blow up the screen. So this is from the port side there. Again, it's more of a harbour, and obviously for the cruises and that going in and out there as well. There, yeah, you go. You can see one of the Southampton Harbour and Hotel Spa there as well. That's a lovely shot of Southampton. There, you know, lots of boats. If you've got your own hired boat, you can go out there of Southampton as well. More shots of boats. Have we got anything else besides shots of boats here in the images? No, it's just lots and lots of boats, guys. That's all they have here. Obviously, one of the most famous things Southampton has is its football club as well. And one of my local wrestling promotions called Revolution Pro Wrestling, which I've been going to go to seasonally in London. They actually do shows in Southampton as well. So one day I might do go to a show in Southampton actually. So maybe I will have a reason to go back to Southampton for one day. It's more regional shows as well, to be fair. Well, they've got things to do in Southampton, museums and attractions. They do have some interesting museums. This is one of them there. I actually recognise the building from the outside actually. There, to be fair. Good morning, One Angry Pagan. Good to see you, my friend. Here, have some badgers for £2 super chat. Thank you, my friend. And really enjoyed our show last night. Thank you so much. As always, guys, check out youtube.com/One Angry Pagan. If you can, be greatly appreciated. Do support our good friend One Angry Pagan. We will obviously do another EcoFlake show next month. Just need to set aside a date for it. So yeah, that's Southampton there, guys. I will say, obviously, like, it is. Is it somewhere like a destination that I'm keen to go to? Not personally. I thought it has its perks. But again, I went for a day trip there, and I felt me and my partner did most things out there anyway, to be fair. But if any of you guys have been to Southampton, let me know your thoughts as well on the city of Southampton. Trip, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for the 14-month membership, One Angry Pagan, saying, it says in it, Southampton is too flat for me. Okay. Too flat for you. All right, my friend. That's fine. It's not everyone's not everyone's likings, anyways. Right, guys. Like I said, there's quite a lot of news to go through because we're going to be covering some UK and world news here. So let's have a look at for the first one here. So from the Guardian, £5 billion overseas aid cuts cannot be challenged in court, says the government lawyer. But the claim comes in a legal exchange with advocacy groups ahead of judicial review of decisions to slash support to 0.3% of gross national income. Like, how can it not be challenged in court exactly? I'm trying. The thing is like, you're literally going to be responsible for the deaths of people by cutting this aid. So, I suppose, are they going to be going on the grounds of human rights? I suppose is the argument they're going to be making. It's going to be in breach of people's human rights, but it's not in the human rights of the judiciary of the UK. Is that where we're going to here? I wonder. I think that's possibly where they're going to make the argument for it, of against it. But I don't know if that's going to win in court though. That's my only thing. I mean, I want it to succeed because I want this. I don't want these cuts to happen. Yeah, and for all the people saying, "Oh, but it's already going to be invested in other places and whatnot," the money can be raised in other places. It just shouldn't be done out of the aid budget because it's life saving for many people across the world. It really is. I mean, I just can't stress that enough here. Thank you, Alistair Keir, for the 5 gifted memberships to Mark. Mark there, Jim Stevens, Vince Gleamer, Melchior, Felix, Axford, have all been gifted memberships there. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. That's very kind of you. So let's read into this, guys. Cuts of $5 billion to the UK overseas aid budget cannot be challenged in the courts, the government lawyers have said. Even though ministers have no plans to return the spending to the legal commitment of 0.7% of gross domestic income, that's GNI. Hold on, I thought they said they were planning, when it's suitable, they will return back to 0.7%. I thought the plan was that they were going to cut it and bring it back up. Am I going crazy? I could have sworn that's what they said. The assertion by Treasury solicitors that ministers are immune from legal challenge over aid cuts comes in preliminary exchanges with the aid advocacy Group 1 campaign. It's the first step what could prove to be hugely embarrassing judicial review. In the spring statement in March, Chancellor Rachel Reeves said she was slashing aid from 0.5% to 0.3% of GDI. The International Development Minister Jenny Clackman said in a Guardian interview that this level of spending was the new normal. No, it's not the new normal. It's a political choice. It is a political choice, this is. Let's be absolutely clear. This is a political choice. It's not the case of, oh, well, everyone else is doing it, so we should do it. Oh, no, this is the new normal now. Like, no, it's not the new normal. It's just, you're just making the decision to cut aid from those who need it the most. The 40% cut due to be imposed by April 2027 is being billed as necessary to fund new permanent increases in defence spending required by long-term changes to the security landscape. We do not need this to do. This is not justified in any way, shape or form. The previous A cut from 0.7% to 0.5% imposed by Dominic Raab, the then Conservative Foreign Secretary, was billed as temporary. It was accompanied by aspirational timetables for aid spending to return to 0.7%. Target set out in the 2015 International Development Aid entrenched the figure as the government commitment on overseas aid. One campaign said that for ministers to comply with the law, they face a choice of either repealing the act, a voice that some Labour MPs will be reluctant to justify to their electorates, or set out a credible pathway to return to their target. The campaign said it's impossible for ministers to keep legislation on the statutory books that places duties upon them they intend to defy. In their legal defence, a written exchange on the legal merits between a government and one campaign prior to their potential judicial review, government lawyers claim a section of the Act shields ministers from all legal challenges. And they said the Act's only mechanism for securing accountability is through a ministerial report to Parliament. They pointed to a section of the Act on the ministerial duty to report to Parliament that states that the reporting duty does not affect the lawlessness or anything done or omitted to be done by any person. The lawyers told one campaign that this puts beyond doubt that Parliament intended the courts would have no jurisdiction. This interpretation is being contested by the Liberal Democrats' peer Jeremy Purvis, who helped draft the legislation and steer it through Parliament. He said ministers cannot hide behind the narrative section of the Act. This minister is reportedly claiming duty to claim. It outs the courts, he added. This government has not missed the target, but is changing it. There is no scope to do this. The fact is, the government is seeking to avoid a vote in Parliament, avoid the courts, avoid all accountability for re-egging on all requirements under the Act. Yet the government has set no pathway to return to 0.7%. Yep, that's also true. One campaign said the cuts are likely to be devastating. Yep, its director, Adrian Lower, said there is no evidence that ministers have met the requirement to undertake impact assessments of the cuts on poverty reduction and gender equality. Ministers said they have only been able to make such assessments when cuts-specific programs are being made. I was going to cover this in the video, but considering I've covered it in full now, I'm not going to. Yeah, it's infuriating. There's no justification for it, guys. There really is not. I like this argument that the money is needed for defence is nonce. When defence has already got plenty of money as it is, they got a big boost at the budget, and now they're going to add even more. It's just insane. It's absolutely insane, guys. I hate it. I really, really do. They're called Labour for a reason, says Stephen Banker. Yeah, they are. They are indeed. 40%. Yeah, I know. 40%. Like, it's just insane. It's just absolutely insane. I just. Thank you so much, Steve, for the $5 New Zealand dollars. It seems very much like those. It does give that impression, doesn't it? Yeah. It's a nasty piece of work. Tell you another person who's quite nasty is Donald Trump as well. Donald Trump said he'll decide whether the US will directly attack Iran within 2 weeks. What is this? Like, this is a joke. Like let's make a media. Like, he always does things like this, doesn't he? Actually, Caroline Levitt was asked a question about this. Actually, about that the president always says that he will decide things within 2 weeks, and then he never follows up on it. So this headline is like, this is what Trump says, but he won't make a decision. I don't think he'll make a decision within 2 weeks. I don't even think he'll make a decision. He might change his mind possibly, but my God, like, this is not a joke. Like, we're talking about people's lives here. People are dying every day from both sides of this. Innocent people are dying. Both Israelis and Iranians are dying because of this point. And I do call it a pointless, needless conflict. And there's no basis or justification for it because we are working on assumptions that they have nuclear weapons. We are interpreting it the fact that they have so much uranium that they may build nuclear weapons, even though Netanyahu has been saying about them going to have nuclear weapons for 30 goddamn years, and still they haven't got them. Happy, I want to make sure I say that right. Happy, I want to say that right, Steve. Sorry. Happy Matarikai. Have I said that right? I probably have not. Today is the Makaritai holiday in New Zealand, marking the Moroni New Year. It is the day the star known as Macaroni rises in the morning sky. I hope I've said that right. I've probably said it wrong. If I have, I sincerely apologise. But happy Macaroni to all in New Zealand. I really mean that. I really do mean that. The day the stars knows that Rocky rises in the morning sky. I like that. That's very nice. I like that. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. US President Donald Trump says on Thursday he'll decide within 2 weeks whether the US military will get directly involved in the conflict between Israel and Iran, giving the substantial chance for renewed negotiations over Tehran's nuclear program as the two sides attack each other on the 47th day. Trump has been weighing whether to attack Iran by striking its well-defended Fordo uranium enrichment facility, which is buried under a mountain and widely considered to be out of reach of all but Americans' bunker buster bombs. His statement was read out by White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Earlier in the day, Israeli Defense Minister threatened the Iranian Supreme Leader after Iranian missiles crashed into a major hospital in southern Israel and hit residential buildings near Tel Aviv, wounding at least 240 people. Israel's military has been instructed and knows that in order to achieve all of its goals, this man absolutely should not continue to exist, the Defense Minister has said. As rescuers wheel patients out of the smoldering hospitals, Israeli warplanes launched their latest attack on Iran's nuclear programs. Let me just make this point here as well. Attacking hospitals is absolutely outrageous. We've said it here about what Israel have done to Gaza hospitals. Obviously, Iran doing this to Israel is completely and bang out of order from Iran's point of view. I understand the retaliations because they're being attacked, but attacking hospitals does nobody any favors. We're talking about people who are the sick and the wounded here. Attacking a hospital is disgusting, a disgusting move by the Iranians, because we know they're just as bad. They're just as bad as Israelis here because of what Israel have done in Gaza per se. I mean, they literally attacked the state broadcaster in Iran as well, which again, as far as I'm aware, I don't believe a state broadcasting building holds nuclear weapons or nuclear programs under its building, but hey ho, what do I know, you know? The attacks on both sides have been nothing short of disgusting because innocent people have lost their lives in doing so on it. But yeah, Donald Trump says this is so annoying because it makes it once again pulls us, because obviously the question has been about whether or not the US are going to get involved or when they're going to get involved, right? So Donald Trump is going to make media out of this by saying, in the next 2 weeks, I will decide. So now everyone's going to be like, oh, everyone's going to go back and talk to Donald Trump to once again make him the center of attention, because he wants all the attention on him. That's the thing. He wants all the attention on him, guys. Thank you so much, Alison Keir, for the £5 super chat. You've been way too generous today, my friend. Honestly, way too generous. Thank you and Steve, guys, for the super chats and gifting memberships. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. You know, Trump is just taking it's just taking it all in his own stride there. Poor people stuck in the middle of all these bullets. Yeah, exactly, Trips. Exactly. I mean, it's just disgusting. Next story I've got for you guys is from Sky News here. Interesting one. Labour MP Vicky Foxcroft quits as the government whips over the cuts to disability benefits. So, a Labour MP has a conscience, guys. The Labour MP wrote in a letter to the Prime Minister that she could not vote for the reforms which include cuts to disabled people's finances because she has a conscience. She wrote in a letter to the Prime Minister that she could not vote for reforms which include cuts to disabled people's finances. The former Shadow Minister for Disabled People becomes the first MP to quit a government job over the controversial welfare reforms plans that have seen over 100 Labour MPs publicly express concerns over the proposals. Again, like, I'm happy that 100 Labour MPs, but it's not enough. We need more rebellion. We need to get more rebellion on this. Government spokesperson defended the reforms as principled and insisted they will protect the vulnerable. This is a lie. It will not protect the vulnerable. We've seen the changes that they are going to make is going to make it more difficult for people to claim entitlements. Okay. The MP for Lewisham North, oh, that's not far from where I live, wrote that the benefit system, it's not my MP for reference, is in desperate need of reform, but argued that this is not the way to do it. She said, I absolutely understand the need to address this ever-increasing welfare bill in these difficult economic times, but I have always believed that this could and should be done by supporting more disabled people into work. Absolutely. I do not believe that cuts to personal independent payments and the health element of the universal credit should be part of the solution. Ms. Croxford said she has wrestled with the decision over whether to resign, but she said, sadly, it now seems we are not going to get the changes that I desperately want to see. I therefore tender my resignation, as I know I not will be able to do the job that is required of me in the Wits, or indeed vote for reforms which include cuts to disabled people's finance. She has received public support from a number of fellow Labour MPs who praised her principled stance on the issue. Good for her, honestly, seriously, good for her for standing up and saying, look, I want to stand by and support this government, but when it comes to disability benefits and the cuts that you're planning to do, I cannot in my conscience do this. Fair play to her to doing that, yeah. It's you know, because if you're in government, if you're in a role, you can have influence, you can get things done. But obviously you have your lines, you have your red lines, and it's like, how far can you push them? Because obviously you have to, when you are a minister, you have to normally go with the government's lines. And those lines go against sometimes your own values, your own principles. But this one in particular, and as you guys and we talked about this time and time again, we're talking about the most vulnerable people in society who are going to have their disabilities cut. And that's just, from a conscious point of view, it's just like, how can I vote for something like that? When Lewisham is not, and Lewisham has its own issues as well when it comes to people. There's people in Lewisham that obviously have that issue as when it comes to benefits and entitlements as well. Like, how can she in that area as an MP like vote for more cuts to it? Like, how can she look at those look at her constituents in the eyes and say that? It just wouldn't be right for her to do so. On that, so fair play for her. I really on that. Good morning, Witchy Goth. Hope you are doing well, guys. Do check out Witchy Goth's YouTube channel as well. Thank you, Alliston, for putting the link down there. Hope you are doing well. Hope you are doing well this morning. So yeah, but again, fair play to her, guys, because it's not an easy one to stand up for. I'm not going to talk too much about this one because I do want to talk about one of the other stories from the BBC, just because I'm wary of time. Israeli attacks kill at least 92 people, including aid seekers in Gaza. At least 16 Palestinians waiting for food aid and 13 others charging electrical devices were killed by Israeli troops. Essentially, literally, the last several days now, it's been roughly around between over 100 and under 100 people have been getting killed or injured, or numbers of between sometimes as much as 200-300 people have been getting injured from desperately trying to seek aid from the Gaza Health Foundation, which was set up, which is a crap system because it forces people to come to them instead of the United Nations, and the way they do it, distribute it to the people who actually need it there. It's really, really infuriating. One Angry Pagan says that this is one of the reasons I resign from me being Labour membership, and yeah, and it's not because you know, because a lot of, like, as we've talked about before, you know, Labour have a lot of good policies, but yeah, the benefit one is just it's just a big fat red line. Like, I agree, and I'm sure you agree with me as well. Yes, the entitlement system does need reform, but you shouldn't reform it in the way that it's going to make it more difficult for people to have it. Because that's what they're doing. They're making the threshold harder for people. So just read a little bit into this. At least 92 people have been killed in Israeli attacks across the Gaza Strip as desperate Palestinians continue to seek food amid the ongoing hunger crisis. Among those killed since dawn on Thursday, 64 were in Gaza City and the north, and 16 others were waiting for aid assistance near the Razarim corridor, which splits North and South Gaza. Starving Palestinians have gathered in the area daily to receive packages from the United States, and the Israel-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which the United Nations has condemned for weaponization of aid, and that's exactly what it's doing. Batu Adu Shah, who witnessed the Israeli attack at the aid site, told AFP news agency that people had gathered overnight in the hope of receiving food. And by the way, that's not just adults. I've seen footage now. I've seen footage of children trying to get there as well. There have been children who have been caught in the crossfires as well, been trying to get there as well, which is even just as disgusting. I just want to cover this one last story before we go to all the news as well, because this is really important for today. Kim Ledbetter is confident the assisting dying bill will pass. This is today, guys. Kim Ledbetter, the MP behind the assisting dying bill, has said that she is confident that MPs will back the legislation when it turns to its final stage in the House of Commons today, Friday. If the terminal ill adults end-of-life bill, which allows terminally ill adults to get medical assistance to end their own lives, is approved, it will then go to the House of Lords for further scrutiny. If it is not approved, the bill will go on to become a law, making Friday a decisive moment in this landmark legislation. So today is the day. This bill, I'm sorry, but I'm for assisting dying, guys. I really am. But this bill does not have the necessary safeguards that it requires. They made fundamental changes to the amendments that make it less safe than it originally was. There are amendments that I approve of, that they have been added since during the committee stages, but some that they have changed, in my view, have not been beneficial to people who have granted assisting dying. And I'm not against assisting dying in any way, shape or form. I just generally, from the latest changes that they've made amendments wise, there have been good amendments that have been added, which I very much approve of, but there's just not been enough for me that says I can back this bill because I believe it's in the best interest for those who need it. And that is why not just myself but lots of MPs, as you can see here, since last year at least a dozen MPs who had backed or abstained on the bill had said they were likely to oppose it, and my position has changed on it too. And again, I just want to stress one more time, really stress this: I am not against assisting dying. I really am not. I'm very much for assisting dying, but I just believe that this bill is not got the necessary safeguards to do so. And I think Kim Ledbetter has been playing about with some MPs over it as well. Things that should not have been added, changes that should not have been made, and it just needs to go back to the drawing board. I know it's not fair on those who need this. I know it's not fair on them, but it's a bill that needs to be killed, and I expect it to be killed today on that. So I just wanted to share that with you. But yeah, keep your eye out today. I'm not going to watch the hearing today because I have so many other things, unfortunately, to do. But yeah, that is going to be happening today, guys. Right, we've got quite a few articles to go for, quite a few headlines. So let's see what all the news is going to be doing. We'll start with The Guardian at the front page of The Guardian under UK politics. So we already talked about the 5 billion UK overseas aid. Airline staff being trained to bar people without visas from flights to the UK here. The US is wading with concerns over China's proposed super embassy in London. Like, I don't know why China want a super embassy in London. Why did I need to look at this story. Super embassy in London. Says concerns over approximate to sensible hubs. Oh yeah, that's right. It's because of how close it is to London's financial district. That's the issue with it. Yeah, potential access to sensitive communications and close to one of its allies. Yeah, that's the issue with it. Right, that's the issue. That's what people have reservations about, it being so close to the financial district. I mean, they have to have an embassy somewhere. Like, they already got one. What's wrong with the one they've got? Is it just too old, out of date? No. Labour MP resigns. We talked about that already. Pupils in England face lost learning from flooding and extreme heat study fines. Why are we not teaching them about climate? Why are we not teaching them about that? UK ministers reopens door to drilling at 2 North Sea oil fields as new guidance has been released. We talked, myself and one Angry Pagan, we talked about that last night. UK behind the curve on assisting dying among progressive nations, says Kim Ledbetter. there. So that's under UK. Let's go to the front of. Let's just go straight to the front, not UK, but front of it. So they got the live feed, the assisting dying bill to finish the crunch vote in the House of Commons. That's going to be live on YouTube if you ever guys want to just put it on in the background and listen to it. If you're not listening to other stuff. Foreign ministers from Europe and Iran to hold talks with, as the US is still deciding whether to join the war. Why would we want to join the war? Answers on a postcard, please. Right, that's just stupid. Netanyahu stuns Israelis by describing personal cost of Iran war, postponing son's wedding. Oh, postponing your son's wedding. Oh dear, I'm so sorry about that, Netanyahu. Sorry, I just don't have any sympathy for him whatsoever. I really don't, guys, and I think you can understand why. Borrowing rises to 17.7 billion under business. Deadly weekend heat in England 100 times more likely due to climate change. No, that's not what the anti-climaxers will say. No. It's just other factors. It's nothing to do with climate change, is what they'll say. Fire chiefs warns of barbecue wildfires risk amber alert heats in England. Yeah, you're going to get fires, unfortunately. It's just people just can't help themselves. Overseas trained doctors put the UK off due to the cost of living and low salaries. Rising alert fatigues risk phone users disabling new notification study finds. I just want to let me actually talk about this actually. Publishers can see audiences uninstall apps and some users receiving up to 50 alerts a day, analysis shows. I'm generally curious, guys. Please let me know in the comments below. Like, do you have a lot of notifications on your phones or your mobile devices? I have very limited notifications on my device. The only notifications I have on specifically is WhatsApp and messages and phone calls. I don't have them on for social medias. I don't have them on for Facebook, for Twitter, or even Discord or anything like that. I don't have them on because I feel like it would just be a bombardment on my phone that just kind of converses me to spend more time on my phone than I should be. But I'm generally curious, do you guys have a lot of notifications on your mobile devices? That's just me. I mean, I have an iPhone and I have an iPod for some of you guys as a reference, as I use as my second device so I can see the Twitch chat. And sometimes I might add, I have my Facebook Messengers notifications on that one, and one or two other notifications on that one. But on my main mobile phone, I don't have lots of notifications on because I just feel like it does have its perks and benefits because it keeps you in the loop on information and messages and whatnot. But I feel like it can be too much if you have too many turned on. Like 50 alerts a day, that's a lot. I think if on average I probably would get about 10 to 5 alerts a day, based on depending on how often there's chats in the WhatsApp groups, I would say. But that's just me. But I'm generally curious to hear you guys' thoughts about notifications. Like how much of them do you have on your phones? Please let me know down in the comments. I'm generally curious to see what you guys say there. Developing countries need more debt relief to fund education and health. This is a story that I dropped yesterday on Byline Times, so do check that one out. This is one I mentioned with 100 Pagan as well last night briefly. Trip says my alerts are on, but WhatsApp has a different tone and YouTube has a different tone. I ignore the Reddit ones. I don't have anything else. Do you have Reddits on your? Do you have notifications on for your Reddits ones? Notifications are just for channels I follow. Says Stephen Banker. I choose whether or not to respond. My phone is not the master. I have no master. Witchy Goth says I have a lot active, not Facebook though. I need to turn off TikTok though. I do need my Amazon alerts and my Tesco alerts. Yep, I get a lot of notifications a day. Interesting. So you guys, some of you guys, yeah, have a lot of notifications, but it's just a case of how you respond to them. Okay. Yeah, I personally don't like it. I personally don't like it. I just feel like it's a lot of bombardment to me. But I suppose I could play about with it more with my other device here, my iPod here, I suppose. I do have them on for Reddit because if it keeps me busy when I'm bored, says Trips. Okay. Lots of alerts. I swipe most away though, says Alex Adams. Thanks for that, guys. I really appreciate the interesting there. Interesting. Maybe I might fiddle about my notifications again. This is the Associated Press. This is their front homepage here. Iran's missile strikes Israel's crown jewel of science. Yeah, because there's definitely There's definitely nuclear weapons under a science building, guys. Yeah, definitely. Trump says he'll decide whether U.S. military, talked about that already. How the militaries of Israel and Iran compare. Iran's leader has crushed many internal threats, and he now faces the biggest challenge. Yep. Thai's Prime Minister leaks phone call with Cambodia Hyung Seo, sparks outrage and political turmoil. Uh-oh. And as our friend Steve pointed out, New Zealand marks the holiday of Matakai, the Malawan Lunar New Year. Federal immigration alerts asked to leave Dodger Stadium parking lot. Team says this was great. I saw this tweet. I saw the tweets on this. Yeah, ICE wanted access to their parking lot, and basically they just told them to stuff it. I love this. They tweeted about this, but essentially the story that I heard about is basically they basically ICE wanted to go in and check their car park, try and just basically looking for ways to catch obviously more innocent people. And basically they told them to stuff it. Like they said, do you have a warrant? Like do you have any powers or authorities? And they're like no. And they're like no. Well then, piss off. Is basically what they said. Essentially, short term. Respect. I love that. And just just a little bit similar. Another topic actually. I was watching wrestling Thursday morning. AEW All Elite Wrestling. They had a show in Mexico on Wednesday night, and one of the wrestlers came out with a shirt saying "Abolish ICE," which I was like, yeah, I love that. You know, got the guy called Brody King, who's the wrestler who wore the "Abolish ICE" shirt, got huge praise from a lot of people, and especially when especially the fact that they wrestled in Mexico as well. I thought that was a nice touch as well. Just wanted to share that with you guys as well. Appeal courts let Trump's guard keep control of the National Guard troops deployed to Los Angeles. Why? ICE raids and the uncertainty scale of workers and baffle businesses. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't blame them. It's literally a battle every day for people. They're living in fear every day. Senate Republicans hold hearing on Biden's mental fitness as Democrats boycott. Trump is silent about Justine on the day he previously honored as president. Yeah, it is really brave of him to do so. I mean, he's a big lad, you know. He's no pushover, you know, because you know, even in like I know all sorts of sports, all sorts of walks of life, people have all sorts of immigrants. But yeah, I mean, the fact that he wore that shirt, like it's very brave. It is very brave to do so because you know you are being like to people will say you're being political, but my position is, and you guys know, like it's not about politics here. This is what they're doing is rounding up anybody and anyone who may or may not be an American citizen are based off their skin color or their nationality, and just to get them deported. That's essentially what it is. They're just the way they're doing it is just completely outrageous. Falling rocks hit hikers on trail in Canada's Banff Park, killing one and injuring three. Oh my god, that's absolutely terrible. Spanish court rejects Airbnb appeal to keep order to block nearly 66,000 listings. The 988 hotline removing LGBTQ plus youth support next month. Yeah, we talked about that. That's just it's a terrible story that is. 10 years after Europe's migration crisis, the fallout revelations in Greece and beyond. Sunshine abounds as summer solidifies arrives there. So those are some of the stories under the Associated Press there. Let's have a look at what... let's go straight to the homepage of Sky News rather than politics of Sky News. MPs to debate and vote on the Sicilian dime. Israel being punished right now, Iranian leader says. Regime change in Iran is unacceptable, says the Kremlin. This is very interesting position. Russia has deepened its ties with Iran since invading Ukraine, and the two countries signed a strategic partnership in January. A Kremlin spokesperson told Sky News that Russia would react. Regime change in Iran is unacceptable, and the assassination of the country's supreme leader would open Pandora's box, the Kremlin has said. In a rare interview with the foreign media organization, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told Sky News that Russia would react very negatively if the leader was killed. Comments come as US President Donald Trump said he will decide within the 2 weeks whether America will join Israel's military against Iran after early speculating on social media about killing the Iranian leader. I should actually point out as well, because this is Putin has actually stated that he's against what Israel are doing. So he has criticized Israel and China and his leader. North Korea. Sorry, leader Kim Jong. North Korean's leader has also criticized Israel as well. I'm just pointing it out there, guys. I'm not a supporter of North Korea or Russia, but they're just. I'm at them in this context of this conflict. They're on the right side of history, and they're on the right side of history on this one, where they're saying that what Israel are doing are wrong. Doesn't mean that I like Iran or Russia or North Korea, but it really does. It's not a good sign because it makes people sympathetic a little bit to Russia and North Korea, despite the fact we know exactly what kind of countries they are and people that they are. Doesn't help the West at all. Doesn't help the West at all. Airbnbs can go effing do. One says running group pagan. I don't personally use Airbnbs there. Trump keeping up Project Fear so he can stop the midterms, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree, Keir. I agree. I'm doing very well, Big Balloon TV on Twitch. Thank you for asking. Why it might be difficult for Trump to refuse Starmer to refuse Trump's use of British air bases to attack Iran. Yeah, there's a question over whether Diego Garcia could be used as an air base for the US to attack in Iran. I mean, don't they have enough air bases as it is, America? Why do they need Diego Garcia to do it? Like, I just don't want us being involved at all, you know? Metal fences, barbed wire, and 7,000 staff inside Britain's largest nuclear weapons site. Sun cream and supermarket own brands fail. Safety test consumer groups fast. Oh, that's why you should always stick with Nivea. I always use Nivea sun spray. I've always used Nivea sun spray, and whenever I use it, I've never found myself to get burnt using it. But he's to their own. Yes, I know it's expensive, guys. UK braces for record temperatures again. And by the way, we've got plenty of it. It lasts, in the cupboards, so it's not like we buy loads or anything like that. UK braces for record temperatures. Ambiguous, badly burned bomb victims and the lack of medicine. Britain's surgeries on life in Gaza. Father 27 shot dead in mistaken identity as he broke Ramadan fast. That's disgusting. Shot dead. Daughter of human rights lawyer held in Iranian prison begs for his release. UK Attorney General in questions on the legality of Israel's attacks on Iran as well. That's the homepage of Sky News. Let's go to Al Jazeera here. Iran's missiles hit South Israel. Iran's FM to meet European counterparts. This is just breaking news. Escalate to de-escalate. What opinions does Iran have to end Israel's war? Or is Israel's Fordow nuclear facility, and could US weapons destroy it? Admit US-Pakistan's threats. Two key challenges, China and Iran. Messi, football, not interested, sorry guys. Say one thing, does another. What Trump's endgame in Iran? Israel massacres in Gaza, locks down West Bank as attention shifts to Iran. Yep, because everyone's paying attention to Iran, now's the time for them to ramp up once again on the West Bank and Gaza, because that's what they do. Spain rejects NATO's 5% defense spending hike as counterproductive. Spanish Pedro Sanchez warns that spending hikes would undermine the EU's efforts to build its own security and defensive bases. Spain has reportedly asked to opt out of NATO's proposed defense spending target of 5% of GDP, risking disruption to key agreements expected at next week's Alliance Summit. In a letter addressed to NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte on Thursday, Prime Minister Pedro urged the alliance to adopt a more flexible framework, according to media reports. Letter seen by the Reuters and Associated Press news agencies calls for either of the targets to remain optional, for Spain to be exempt entirely. Committing to 5% target would not only be unreasonable but also counterproductive, Sanchez wrote, warning that it would undermine efforts by the European Union to build its own security and defensive base. As a sovereign ally, we choose not to. 5% is a lot. 5% is a lot, guys. Yes, I am noticing chat, because I did say hello to you earlier, Big Balloon TV. Second home should also be banned, says one angry pagan. Yeah, they should be as well. Is there any other stories? Opinion pieces, features, and it's war becoming on Ukraine. It's Russia's vast size becoming a liability there. Iran-Israel conflict, and football there. That's the front of Al Jazeera there, guys. Let's have a look at the BBC. We'll have a look at the politics side first before we look at the homepage. Government whip quips. We talked about that already. Crumbling school, hospitals and schools courts to get funding boosts. Is the UK about to get dragged into Israel-Iran conflict? It bloody better not. Otherwise, I'll be protesting. New emission guidance for oil and gas projects. Millions to get £180 off their energy bills. Good. That's good. Doubling the number of households in Britain will get 150 quid off their energy bills this winter as the government changes the rules on who qualifies for the warm home discount. Good. It's something. It's better than nothing, is what I say. Bank hold interest rates. Further council debt expected to rise to 1.1 billion. Starmer urges diplomacy as Trump considers Iran attack. Kendall firm in convictions ahead of the welfare reforms. That's because she doesn't have a soul. Minister pledges ban on strangulation pornography. Yeah. Why have we not banned that already? Like, come on. Foreign criminals should be expected to be deported, minister says there. And then some features and analysis there. Just have a quick look, see if there's anything on UK. Temperatures expected to reach 32 degrees. Like I said, that's going to be tomorrow. Drink plenty of water, guys. Stay hydrated, really important. Anything else to added there? Huge Romanian jigsaw reveals 2,000-year-old wall painting, apparently. Be ready to be shocked and offended at university, students have been told. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the homepage of the BBC. Dismal month for supermarket pushes down retail sales. Fake Botox jab left me in A&E with botulinum poisoning. Oh my god. You've got to be careful with who you do it with. Like, you really got to do your research before committing to it. Telegram boss said he will leave fortunes to over 100 children he fathered. What? The founder of the instant messaging app Telegram, Paul Dovett, said the more than 100 children he has fathered will share his estimated 13 point. He's got more than 100 children. Oh, it's not actual children, or is he just saying that? I don't want... they are all my children and they all have the same rights. I don't want them to tear each other apart after my death. He's official father... said he is the official father of 6 children with 3 different partners. But he has more than 100 other children after donating sperm to a fertility clinic. Oh, okay. Oh my god, yeah, I'd be worried there. I was like, Jesus Christ. He also reiterated that he denies any wrongdoing conviction with serious criminal charge that he faces in France. Okay. Okay, well that's very generous of him that he's planning to leave it with so many people, with so many children, I suppose. Public doesn't back aid spending anymore, says Minister. That is true. China criticises UK warship patrol in Taiwan Strait. Well, I'm criticising Taiwan for being in the South China Sea. That belongs to in the waters that belongs to the Philippines. But, you know, you don't see me gassing about it. Let's have a look at CNN, you guys. Just got less than 6 minutes left. I'll give you guys a rundown shortly before we end about the plans. Israel and Iran trade strikes as Trump weighs US involvement. 70 rhinos reared at controversial captive breeds, a farm set free in Rwanda. Transporting the world's largest largest mammal halfway across the world's second largest continent isn't easy. 2,100-mile journey involving crates, cranes, trucks, and a Boeing 747. 70 captive-bred southern white rhinos were moved from South Africa to Rwanda's Akalia National Park in early June as part of an initiative to rewild them. Moving 70 wild across the continent is high-risk stuff. So far, the animals appear to be doing well in their new home. All reports are good. They moved 70 of them. That's a lot. And that's heavy. The creatures can carry weight of 2,000 kilograms. No shit. Originated from a controversial breeding program started in the 1990s by prosperous developer John Hume. African Parks moved 70 rhinos from South Africa to Rwanda as part of the rewilding initiative. Damn, fair play to them. Moving 70 rhinos. Fair play to them to rewild them. Nothing but love and respect for them. Seriously, that's not easy. You know. Israel, Iran. Just seeing if there's any other stories, guys, that we haven't seen already. Just going to point them out if we do. Princess of Wales pulled out of Royal Ascot. Okay. Anxiety grips in the Arab states. Yep. 28 killed in deadly Russian strikes on Kiev in almost a year. Spain says April blackout was caused by grid failures and poor planning, not a cyber attack, they say. US man arrested in Greece after bodies of infant and a mother found in Roman Park. I did not need to know that. Oh my God, what's wrong with people? The US has toppled Iranian governments before. Here's what happened. And some other stories there. Oh, I wish I was not told that other story, guys. I wish I wasn't. We'll go to the Independent in just a moment, but just I want to quickly remind you guys, Graham Hughes from Politics Social will be doing a morning brew at 9 a.m. in just a couple minutes' time. If you guys are interested, Dave McGuinness of the Two Davies channel will be doing a paper review at 10:30 on his YouTube channel. So do check out his paper review as well. At 1 o'clock this afternoon, Graham Hughes and Phil Morehouse should be hosting the agenda. Where they'll round up some of the weekly stories. Obviously, the main news, obviously, they'll be talking about is Iran, and obviously, I'm sure they'll mention talking about the assisting dying as well. The two of them there, so do check that out as well. 5 o'clock this afternoon, Daily Blase will have his Friday Frolics live stream. Do check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be a great show. Always worth checking out. If you guys can make the show, please do. It's really, really good fun show. Even if you're doing stuff in the background, even if you're doing stuff, put it on in the background. It's a good laugh. You'll definitely get lots of shits and giggles. And we all need that, especially with what we cover, with what we talk about when we talk about stuff like this. And then if he's live streaming tonight, I expect him to. Max Robspear will be live at 8:30 tonight, and there's an after. And Graham Hughes will have like a Politics Social party at like 9:30 onwards in the late evening. If you guys want to check that out as well, I think A Thompson might have a live stream at 7 o'clock or 7:30 as well. A Thompson, youtube.com/A Thompson as well. So there's lots of live streams that take place on Friday. So do check all of them out. We're going to have one final look, guys, at the Independent before we head out, because this is my last live stream of the week. UK and EU hold talks with Iran after Trump sets 2-week windows aside on strikes. Labour whip quits over Star Wars benefit cuts. UK hottest day of the year. RAF aircraft damaged after activists break into Brits' northern base. Several injuries after tram derails and crashes into Pislars in Goldenberg. Oh my God. What is the secret to a truly stress-free holiday? Turn your mobile phone off. That's it. 16 billion passwords. 16 billion passwords from Apple, Facebook, and Google, and more leaked. How long ago was this? This was yesterday. They exposed 16 billion login credentials and passwords according to researchers. Why has no one heard of it? 16 billion passwords to Apple, Facebook, Google, and other social media accounts, as well as government services, were leaked in what researchers call the largest data breach ever, according to reports. The leak exposes 16 billion login credentials and passwords, prompting both Google to tell billionaire users and change their password, and the FBI to warn Americans against opening suspicious links to SMS messages, according to a report published on Thursday in Forbes. Researchers at Cyber News, who have been investigating the leaks, found that 30 exposed data centers connected tens of millions to over 3.5 billion records each. Guys, yeah. If you have Facebook, Google, which I will do, just might want to just temporarily switch it to another password. Maybe just add 1 or 2 numbers or exclamation mark or something like that. Just might be want to tweak your password a little bit, just to be safe based on this, guys. Because you know that's a lot of passwords leaked, guys. 16 billion. I know it's probably more likely to be in America. But yeah, probably want to change your passwords, guys, just for reference there as well. 16 billion. How did they get that figure? Well, Forbes. I'm sure Forbes would not be posting that unless they had reliable sources there. I think Assistant Dionysus Graham's topic is a discussion on morning brews this morning. Ah, even more reason to join him there. So, guys, I am done for today. I'm done for this week. I want to say a massive thank you to Alistair Keir and Steve McMullen for the super chats and the gifted memberships. Very generous of you guys. Really, really appreciate it. I want to say thank you guys all for coming here for this morning. Thank you for those who are for the moderators as well for keeping the chat nice and clean. Thank you guys all for your comments and your feedback about what we discussed this morning. I'll be back live on Monday morning at 8 a.m. If you can join me, great. If you can't, that's totally fine. But every Monday to Friday, we'll be doing a good morning show at 8 a.m. So if you can join me for the morning, feel free to do so as well. Be greatly appreciated. Last thing before I head out, drink plenty of water, stay hydrated. Really, really important, guys. I can't stress that enough. It's really, really important to look after yourself. Just drink plenty of water. Even when your body says you've had plenty of fluids, just drink, because sometimes your body doesn't always know what it wants. Okay, so just do it, even if it means you have to go to the bathroom a bit more, guys. It's totally cool. Just don't. It's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. Okay, so guys, on your way out, if you can, hit the like button, share it across social media, subscribe if you haven't to already. Have a wonderful weekend, whatever you guys are doing, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.